What's up, everybody? In the fish room again, and uh, doing an update, just generally what's going on. As you can see, some stuff's been moved around a bit. So I'm Project Theta. Luckily, I didn't name it. Started to fail just because I wasn't down here a lot enough. Uh, a lot of work to do. Didn't get enough time down here. So I shut it down, or I am in the process of shutting it down. And the sump idea worked partially, but not as well as I had hoped. Getting an external pump would have it did work a lot better, but it was a bit tedious. So experiment to note: don't use canister filters as return pumps for sumps. But that's kind of why I'm here, to do an experiment so you guys don't have to. But yeah, Project Theta is being shut down. I moved the water trash can storage, RO water, blah blah blah, into this corner from that corner. I'll get to that in a second. But I moved it over here, raised the stationary RO holder on 4 cinder blocks. So it's about 16 inches tall off the ground from the base. So that helps me both. If there's no power, I can just gravity feed one can to another. It's also just a lot more convenient because it doesn't get in the way as much back in that corner and with that height. And then I've got the wheeled RO container that's getting fed from that I can just move around the room if I really need to, or I can bring it outside for the 65-gallon Garden of the Roots. So in this corner, that used to have these cans and fan and something else I can't remember, but and the emergency power brick, which is outside of this room now. But basically I've moved that tank, which used to house those two Brichardi. Now I remember what was over here. This tank was previously on this back wall, and not only did it not give me a lot of space to move around, it also limited my options for adding racks or another tank. So I had a bunch of cinder blocks both already underneath this and left over from building this. So went ahead and moved it over to this side, which will help because it's along the outlets. Got a longer outlet bar right there, but it's along the outlet wall, and it's kind of just a continuation of this rack right here. And I've still got enough space on that for another 10-gallon, I think. And I'm gonna turn this into an Episto colony. More on that later. I'm gonna show you the other tank I got recently, or not recently, but past like 3 months. I haven't made a video, or however long it's been, but so I'm creating 3 new Episto colonies. Arguably just 2 new, considering one's gonna be the same species, but that's debatable. The 33, I'm still deciding, but right now it is the 33 has a Cockatoides colony like it used to be back in the day. The 65 as a Agassiz colony. It's going to be a wild Agassiz and some wild Cockatoides, so it's going to be nice to see some wild Agassiz. Maybe I can get them into my local fish store and get them into circulation. But so that's going to be Agassiz colony, Cockatoides colony, and then outside is going to be a Epistogramma bitanniata colony. Yeah, I'm still debating on whether the Cockatoides are going to go in there or in there. The Agassiz and the Cockatoides I might switch around. But I definitely want the Brichardi outside. Not the Brichardi, what am I thinking of? The bitanniata outside in my show tank, bio tank. But moving on from room setup, we've got my pair of orange flash cockatoides that, oh look, they're starting to display, but previously in the 33 on the other side, they were both product of the old colony that used to be in there, along with him. Actually, I think he's his son, so that would make them both my original cockatoides' grandchildren? I'm not sure. But, lineage aside, these two are now in this 10-gallon, a bunch of leaves and some caves. Hopefully I can get them breeding again. Shouldn't be that hard. They're already established pair. But, yeah, so I'm going to start breeding those guys in here. I'm trying to get this guy to become acclimated to the female wild that's over in that tank. So I've got them looking through to each other, just so they can't actually hit each other. And then in this 10 in the middle, I've got guppy fry growing up, and a lot of their most recent batch growing up. There's one of the cockatoides fry right there. I can focus on that. There we go. There's one of them. That's one of the medium-sized ones. There's a few smaller ones and one who's the oldest, or most developed, I should say. Who's already got some coloration, but I have no idea where he is, and it's insanely hard to see into this tank unless you put on the flashlight. There we go. Move some stuff out of the way. Yeah, I have no idea where the heck they are, but there's a cockatoide somewhere hiding in there. Got and the guppy fry finally started showing their colors. The males are virtually completely colored up. There's one, for example, right there. He's running away. I don't know where it went, but they're coloring up really nicely. And I love this color form that I got or created with this like deep red violet color with some shiny blue in the chest. It's really nice looking. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The RO feed system is working great, and the sump disposable water is working pretty nicely. I've only got two more containers of immersed plants. That is purely for immersed plants. One's a 10-gallon, one's that plastic container. I'm probably going to take the plants out of that 10-gallon just because I'm going to need the space, the tank availability space. Moving on to these two 29-gallons. There are the angels in here. Moved most of them out, or two of them out. Three of them out? I don't know. But there are two of them left, and I think they may have bonded. But they're right next to these Brichardi, and I didn't separate them visually at all. So as you can see, it's really easy to just see through each tank if the fish really want to. And that guy back in the corner who's hiding in that rock all the time, once I put these guys next to each other, they just started fighting or flaring at each other against the glass, which helps both of their pairs bond, which is really nice. Kind of an interesting dynamic with two cichlid species from the opposite side of the world who genetically haven't been the same for a very, very, very long time, millions of years. Now they're right across the tank from each other. It's kind of interesting, helping each other form pair bonds. Not something you think about every day, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up because it's getting to 10 minutes and I don't like going over 10 minutes. But Agazi Wilds, Cockatoides Orange mixed with Wilds, Brichardi, Angels, hopefully, Silver Angels, Cockatoides and Guppy Fry, and hopefully some Battaniana. I'm expecting to get those guys from Ted Dirty once I get the tank and everything set up. It's a nice corner. I painted all the walls, and I'm gonna wrap this up in like 5 seconds. So it's been Aquatic Master, signing out.